No, I don't take sh- I got no love.
Okay, so starting at the top, we have a CNN article, right, that I really don't agree with, but it's okay because it's okay, right? We have to talk about both of the sources. We have to talk about all these different sources, so we can get a good idea of where we are at the level that we're at in America. We have to look at both sides of the aisle to see what they're doing. We need to see what the Democrats are doing. We need to see what the Republicans are doing so we can make our decision that way. So let's begin. So, a radical shift at the border is making things tougher for Biden. Now, this is a CNN article admitting this. That's good, right? A radical shift at the border is making things tougher for Biden. We've been saying this since the very beginning. Look at about a year ago, I made a video all about the border and border crossings. So there's a major detail missing from many conversations about rising number of immigrants coming into the United States-Mexico border. Wow. Oh my God. I've only been saying this for years, but okay. Decades ago, the vast majority of migrants attempting to cross the border between points of entry were Mexican a few years ago mostly came from Central American countries known as the Northern Triangle: Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. But now, according to Border Patrol statistics, the number of people coming from outside those places are growing and fast. Well, you know why they're growing. This is exactly why they're growing. Because the Joe Biden administration is incentivizing people to come to America. Joe Biden even said before he was while he was on the campaign trail, stumbling across every single state to try to get elected, right? Joe Biden said, come to America. The day you get elected, come, swarm the border. Come to America, and we're going to let you in. All these people swarmed the border as soon as he got elected, and then the Border Patrol did not have enough resources to handle all of these influx in people coming to the border, and I talked about this last year, that they didn't even know what to do, so they let them all in. So they let all these people into the United States border, causing havoc in Texas. Now, Texas Governor Greg Abbott actually talked about this and said, listen, we need to actually have more border patrol. We need to actually do something for America. We need to stop letting so many people in because they're causing havoc on our cities and states. And you know what the California governor, you know what the New York governor, you know what the DC governor said? They both said, listen, you are crazy. This is not happening. So you know what the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, said? He said, let's bus all those people to your states because you said that you're a sanctuary state for all of these immigrants. Let's ship them to your state. So they shipped them to D.C. and they shipped all of these immigrants to New York. And New York and D.C. had to go out and say that it is a national emergency because all of these people are coming in. So you're going to claim that it's a national emergency, that a lot of these people are getting bussed in. All of these immigrants are getting bussed into your states, which you claim are a sanctuary, but now you still disagree with the mere fact that it is a security breach to have an open border in the United States, especially when Texas is right there next to the border of the United States and Mexico. We need to have clear-cut borders with a lot of security because when we go to other countries, we need to go through security. So why wouldn't it make sense for other countries to other people from other countries to go through legally? I can't just walk into China and willy-nilly and go to the capital of China. I can't just go to any place in China. I can't go to anything without going through the proper paperwork first. And that makes sense. That's how it is, because that's how you make a strong country. That's how you make a country that is based on law and order, because we don't let anybody into this country unless you're filed in here legally. And that makes sense, right? Wow, it does. Wow, okay. So moving on. David Beer calls it a radical shift and a new phenomenon that nobody is talking about. Wow, I've only been talking about this for years, but okay. Beer, the Associate Director of Immigration Studies at the Cato Institute, pointed out the change in recent thread on Twitter. It's a telling detail, he says, that reveals a lot about what the Biden administration is facing at the border and why the situation has been so difficult to solve. It's been so difficult to solve because we don't just place people at the border with guns. We want to be like, oh, these people are coming for sanctuary. No, most of them are not coming for sanctuary. Some of them are coming for sanctuaries, and I can agree with that. If you're coming from a country that is abusing you, if you're coming from a family that is abusing you from another country, and you're saying, no, I need a better life, I need to go to America. No, they're not, because the whole entire family of 10 to 20 people are coming right through the border. So if they have such a hard life within their family, then why would they come to America with their whole entire family? It doesn't really make much sense. So let's continue. So to better understand this trend, CNN dove into the data. Wow, oh my God, CNN doing a little investigative journalism. Wow, that's hard to find these days. So let's zoom into this data right here. So Mexico is this over here, this gray. And then we have Northern Triangle, which is, I would say, this kind of like darker gray. And then we have all these other countries in this purple. So this is a graph that they have in front of us for our audio viewers. I'll explain it the best I possibly can. So they are saying from, I would say, 2011, well, I would say from 2007 to 2011, Mexico was at the forefront of all these immigrations coming from the southwest border. So during that time, the 2007 to 2011, right? Every single year, they tracked how many people came in. So from 2011, 800,000 people walked in from the southwest border. Okay. Now in 2008, 653,000 people came from the southwest border. In 2009, 495,000 people walked in from the southwest border from Mexico. All these people are from Mexico, by the way. In 2010, 396,000. So it's actually going down a little bit. In 2011, 280,000. So that's when it started taking a little deep dive down. And then we had the Northern Triangle filling in the gap. While it is going down, the Northern Triangle is filling in. But also, at the same exact time, Mexico has always been at the forefront of this border crossings, okay? Or migrants, right? Okay? And then over here in, I would say, 2018, we have the Northern Triangle taking a huge leap up in the population that is coming through the border. It went from 223,000 in 2018 to 607,000 in 2019. Then it took a deep dive down in 2020, 103,000. But at the same exact time in 2020, 253,000 Mexicans came in from the northern border, the southwest border. And then all other countries in 2020 made up 43,000. But elevate that to 2020 and 2021. In all other countries in 2021, it's been more than it's ever been before at 367,000. Also, at the same exact time in 2021, 608,000 Mexicans came in from the southwest border. And then at the same exact time, the Northern Triangle in 2021 had 683. That's crazy. So if you add all this up, 683 plus 608,000 plus 367,000, that's a record in 2021. That's the most we've ever had until we saw 2020. In 2020, we had 453,000 just Northern Triangle people come in. At the same exact time in 2022, we had 630,000 Mexicans come in. That's about 20,000 more than we had in 2021. And then at the same exact time, all other countries in 2022 had 732,000 southwest border migrants arriving at the border. So that's just crazy. That's an increase from 2021, all other countries, 367, to 732. That's merely a increase by 2 times in 1 year. That's crazy to think about. That's crazy to think about this many people trying to come to America. If America was such a racist country, why are so many people coming to America? Can anybody explain to me why, if America is a racist country, why are so many people from other countries, right? The Northern Triangle, Mexico, and all other countries, Why are people coming to America if America is systemically racist? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the answer to what we are seeing here. Oh wait, CNN does. What we are seeing. There's a big change in who's coming to the United States Mexico border. A large number of migrants from Mexico and Northern Triangle are still making the journey, but the number of migrants from other countries represented here in purple have significantly increased, and that's exactly what I went over just now. Back in 2007, the number of migrants in this other category was neglectable, which I agree. In 2008, all other countries was only 6,000. When compared to 2008 Mexican border migrants, it was 653. Yeah, that's neglectable. I mean, that's not anything to worry about. So, but since then, it's grown dramatically by 11,000%. That's 11,000% increase. 11,000%. But can we ask why? Why are people trying to come to America so badly? Why are people trying to go through the border of the United States and Mexico border if America is racist? Because we are not racist at all. Let's just keep going, okay? Let's just keep going. A handful of countries made up a large portion. Okay, so a handful of countries make up a large portion of the growing group at the border. The number of times United States Border Patrol officials at the southwest border encountered migrants from Cuba, Colombia, Nicaragua, Venezuela has increased dramatically over the past 2 years. Migration is increasing from Cuba, Venezuela, Colombia, and Nargonza. So if you look at this graph here, it shows the same exact thing that the last graph showed, but actually CNN was doing some pretty good, decent journalism. Wow, for the first time. So in 2022, February 1st, we had 3,000 Venezuelans. And this shows a month to month. So I'm not going to go over all of these things, but if you do want to watch the video portion of this podcast, it's going to be available on all these streaming platforms. Now, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. If all these people, and I'm going to keep making this connection, if all of these people are coming through the border, what is America going to do about this? Are we going to start letting in people by the millions? Apparently, I mean, in 2020, we had a lot of people trying to come into this country. We're going to let them come in all at once. I think we had about 2 million people, upwards of 2 million people tried to come to the southwest border alone. So are we going to let all these people in all at once? Of course we're not. But is the Joe Biden administration going to sit here and claim that they are? Yes, they are, because they want to be elected. This is the only reason why all of these officials are even trying to even think about letting these people into the country illegally. I mean, these people are obviously at the border and they're migrants, so they're coming through legally. But the thing is, not everybody comes through legally, and that's the sad part. Come through legally, get filed in, then we can talk, okay? If you don't file in legally, then there's no purpose of you even coming here, because we don't want you here if you don't come here legally. That's it. I'm going to make it about that. Come in legally, and we'll think about accepting you, okay? Hey, before you go, don't forget to check out all my other content that I don't only have on this channel, but all of my other channels that I have. I do have a cooking channel where I make weekly videos that I make pancakes and cupcakes and all different things like that. I also have a podcast channel where it is not political at all, and I just talk about my daily life. That's available on all the popular streaming platforms. And finally, we have this show, and we have a new show coming soon, which I will be announcing in the next couple weeks. If you did like this video, please subscribe down below for weekly content, and like this video so I know that you like videos like this. Thank you all, and have a great one. Bye.